This is the new moon of May 6, 2016 reading. I did a specific reading for this moon for each of the star signs because of the planetary alignments with this new moon. Both Jupiter and Pluto are well aspected to this new moon, which makes it quite a powerful new moon. So it's always nice to know what this could possibly bring into your life. I drew two cards, first of all, for all the star signs, which is the two archetypes that are archetypal energies that will be associated with this new moon. The first card is from Colette Baron Reid's Magical Map Oracle deck, and it's the Moonlight card. And one of the energies that comes through with this card is to walk a path, it says, that is dimly lit. In other words, a path that is not well known to you, but dimly lit in more of a romantic way than dark and scary way. And it says it's along this path that you will find magical, new, mystical experiences. So this new moon has an energy for us to plant the seeds for discovering new things in those parts of our life that we haven't actually explored yet. The other card that I drew is from the Gods and Titans card by Stacey DeMarco. And this archetype is Poseidon. Now this speaks about a greater flow of creativity, fertility, or prosperity. He was also a god that was feared by sailors. In other words, he was given a lot of respect, shown a lot of respect. So this is quite a powerful energy, and there's definitely a huge, shall we say, potential for creativity, fertility, and prosperity. So make use of those energies. Now let's start with the first star sign, and that is Libra. Libra, the first card I drew was that of the soulmate. And then the second card that jumped straight out of the deck was soulmate. So with the first card I thought, again, this can't be possible. But when the second one jumped out, I realized, okay, universe is saying, definitely, not only possible, but definitely. Don't argue with me, it said. So there's definitely soulmate energy available for Librans. It's coming in with this new moon. Either you planting the seeds or they will be planted, but there is soulmate energy is very strong in this new moon. For those of you already in partnerships and relationships which are pretty permanent, you're going to be feeling that deep soul attachment with one another, that recognition that you belong together, you're doing this journey together. For those of you looking for someone, and there's a lot of Librans that have actually been single for a while now because of that lovely Uranus influence that got into relationships and partnerships and basically threw them on their heads, tore them apart or whatever. Very disruptive energy, that. So for those of you that have been single and looking for someone, there's definitely somebody coming in. Now remember, the new moon has probably a 6-month span to manifest. But that doesn't mean it's going to take 6 months to manifest. I think with Jupiter and Pluto aspected to this moon, it's going to be far quicker than that, especially with Jupiter, even though they are in retrograde. Jupiter in retrograde basically just dims the energy a bit. And Pluto in retrograde, as far as I'm concerned, it's a good place for it to be. So there's definitely soulmate energy coming in. There's somebody coming in that is, you've signed a soul contract with. You are going to do the journey together. You're going to learn from each other. You're going to learn together. You've decided you want to do the journey together as a partnership to learn. This could be a partner too. It doesn't necessarily have to be a romantic partner. It could be somebody you partner up with in business. It could be both. I would say about 40% of Librans, you're going to have both coming into your life now. Both a romantic partner and a business or friendship partner. Now the next card, the final card that comes up for Libra, is that of the Dreamer. And this is about taking that risk. All right? I think this was in this week's reading as well, the Dreamer. Yes, it was. So this is about having trust and faith and taking that leap of faith, Libra. Take that leap of faith. Because on the other side of this is possibly things you could not even have imagined. Next up is Virgo. Now, Virgo, your first card that comes up is the card of deception. It says someone is wearing a false self mask in this relationship. Now, before you all get really worried about this card, this is speaking, I think, about you are covering something up, and it's not something bad. You just are not getting to where you are revealing something about yourself because you feel you might be rejected, or someone might not accept it, or it might upset the apple cart, but you keeping something of yourself inward. You're not saying what needs to be said. Because the next card is that of mending. And this speaks about keeping in hurts, keeping in disappointments, keeping in fears, bottling them up, and not letting them out in a healthy manner, obviously. But the fact that you're keeping them in is the problem. This is, shall we say, deception by omission, all right? Because the final card basically is the World card, and in this particular reading, I would say this card says the truth will set you free. You get to deal with whatever this is that you are omitting, saying, or doing. And you square up and you say what needs to be said in a healthy manner, do what needs to be done in a healthy manner, and a myriad of opportunities will open up for you. As I said, the truth will set you free. Right, now we move on to Capricorn. Capricorn, your first card is about forgiving and learning. And this is about healing things from the past. This is a big subject. It's not an easy thing to cover in a reading like this, or basically in a general reading. But there is something that Capricorn has in the past that needs to be dealt with. And I think Capricorn, this has come up for you fairly regularly in your monthly readings of late. So for each of you, that's going to be a different thing. You may know what it is, you may not know what it is, but it is there and it needs to be dealt with. Because the next card that comes up is that one of breathe. And this talks about the patience, the trust, the faith that life will move along at the speed that it's supposed to move along. So I'm thinking there's a situation here where old fears are cropping up. And they're wanting you or making you push because they are old fears relating to an old situation, but they don't relate to the situation you're in at the moment. Because the final card says, do the right thing for the right reason. So don't rush ahead and do something because it's a knee-jerk reaction, because it's an old behavioral pattern that has no place in the particular situation you're in at the moment. Think carefully and take your actions for the right reasons, not out of fear. Right. Now we move on to Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you guys are still having that conversation. So whatever it is that you have already brought up, you are still needing to discuss it with those you love, those around you, because it is still not totally accepted by them. I think it was a biggie, right? And for those of you who have not had the courage to do so yet, this new moon is giving you the opportunity to have that heart-to-heart conversation, to tell the people you love, to tell your partners, the people around you, what is in your heart. The next card is that of the orphan. This speaks about feeling separated from those around you, feeling orphaned. And what it says, in order to feel connected again, you need to change your expectations and your perceptions. You're feeling separate because of the way you are looking at the situation. You need to change that and you will feel at one with the people around you again. The final card that comes up says, listen to your heart. So here we go again. Your heart is telling you something very, very strongly. Listen to what that is. Right, now we are going to move on to Scorpio. Scorpio, your first card that comes up is that of playfulness. So I think what this new moon is going to bring into your life is the potential for lightheartedness, the potential for, one wants to say, elevating your life to a lighter feeling. There's definitely the potential for that here. So possibly you've been dealing with either a lot of work or a lot of heavy stuff, or a lot of heavy emotions of late. And now this new moon says, you can play a bit. I'm bringing you the energy to play a bit. And the to be fair card is always about when the pendulum swings one way, it's going to swing back the other way again. So if you've been working very hard and you've had kind of a hard time adjusting to life as it's been going in the last few months, the pendulum is now going to swing back the other way. The scales will dip the other side, and you will have the potential for more light-hearted things, more fun, more return on what you are doing. The final card that comes up says that there's a decision that is probably the thing that is weighing on your mind at the moment, probably making the heaviness underneath it all. This is what the heaviness is about, and this is a head versus heart decision. This card says, go with your heart. Go with what your heart wants, not what your head is trying to dictate. Right, now the next card, the next sign that comes up is Aries. Aries, this says somebody has just come into your life, or this new moon will bring somebody into your life, and this could be the one. This card actually says you've already met that romantic partner you seek. So for those of you in permanent relationships and partnerships, it's time to acknowledge this person is that person. If you have moved out of the relationship, or the relationship has now reached the end of its time that you two of you are supposed to have together, or you're single and you're looking for someone, this energy it's an interesting energy. This is an energy where somebody comes into your life that you're not quite expecting. You could be single, you could actually be with somebody, and this person is the one. So how you deal with this from this way forward, that's going to depend entirely upon each of you. The next card that comes up says, now you can rewrite your story. So where there may have been disappointment, where the person you've been with up to this point in time, you've misunderstood each other, your paths haven't aligned, it hasn't turned out the way your heart wanted it to, you now get the opportunity with this new person to rewrite the story. It can have the meeting of hearts, the meeting of minds, the journey forth together, right? And the final card here says that there's a reward to be made for making the right decision here. Not just about a decision, but for rewriting the story. When you make that decision to move forward into a suitable partnership or relationship, there will be big rewards waiting for you. Now we move on to Leo. Leo, this card has also come up before for you guys. This is about something is controlling your lives. Now, as much as one likes to say it's usually another person, it's not. This is something within you. This is a mindset, an idea that you are keeping in your mind that it's tied you down. It's controlling your life. It's sapping your energy and your strength and your enthusiasm. You need to let go of that idea. You need to let go of that mindset. Because the next card says this new moon has the potential for great happiness, wonderful happiness, if you can let go of that thought, that mindset that is controlling your mind and your heart and your soul. It says then that life is going to be full of opportunities. That Eight of Spring says then the opportunities will come very suddenly. There will be millions of them, exaggerating just a little, but you will have a myriad of choices ahead of you. You possibly have to make decisions fairly quickly on what you're going to choose, but it opens the floodgates, basically, is what it's saying. Next up, we have Cancer. Cancer, this new moon brings you the opportunity to spend time with the people you love, be it romantic or your friends or your partners, but the people close to you, almost in a holiday mood, or in a holiday feeling, or close together. You can go and do something where the two of you, or the lot of you, feel cocooned and encapsulated in a bubble of happiness for a while. So this new moon is giving you that potential. The second card is saying you're going to let go of something. And honestly, the third card is saying the same thing too. It's time to move on. So something that has been sort of dampening your happiness, something that has been putting a dampener on your joy for life, it's time to move away from it. Sometimes all it is a mindset you need to move away from. I have a feeling in this case it's pretty much it. A small percentage of you, it could be a physical thing you're actually going to move away from. Both these second two cards are saying that. But it could be just that you suddenly decide, you know what? I'm not going to let this get to me anymore. I'm going to do my life happy, and I'm just going to let whatever it is that's holding me down, clamping down my happiness, I'm letting it go. It's time for it to go. Right, now next up, we have Aquarius. Aquarius, your partnerships, your permanent partnerships and relationships are what this new moon is about. I think there's a resolution coming in. This unfinished symphony card talks about resolution. So something that has occurred in your partnerships and relationships of late, you are finding resolution now. You're coming to resolution. Be it that you just decide this partnership is going to work, you're going to make it work, you're going to take the steps necessary on your side to make it work, or you decide that things need to change and you're going to change them, but it will work. And for those of you that have just met somebody new, this is a situation that in the future is going to involve marriage. But you first have unfinished business to deal with. There's something in your past, in your recent past, I'm thinking, that first needs to be resolved. Once you've resolved that, there's great potential ahead of you. Because the final card is that of unexpected windfall. So this new moon will bring an unexpected windfall. I'm thinking more on a mental level, on a heart level, even though this card is normally more associated with action, shall we say. But I'm thinking that on the level of heart, on the level of mind, there's going to be resolution. But this possibly then does bring in a windfall. Often when we make adjustments in our mind and our heart, there is physical manifestation after that, which is windfall in this case. Right, now we move on to Pisces. Pisces, you're going to be having romantic feelings about somebody. Either it's a partner that you're with at the moment, you suddenly feel that rush of romance again, or you're meeting somebody new and you're feeling romantic feelings. And this card says they're worth exploring. Then the time for a nap card comes up. And I think what this is saying is it's time to relax into this. It's time to chill, relax into these romantic feelings, to enjoy them, the warmth, the comfort, the fuzziness they make you feel, right? Don't overthink it. Don't get too mushy and involved in it. Just relax comfortably. Look like that little fox at the bottom of the moon. That's how you must look in this relationship. And then the final card that comes up is the falling in love card. So I'm guessing, Pisces, this new moon is going to bring love into your lives in one way or another, one form or another. Now, Gemini, for you, this new moon speaks about loving yourself first. Now, this card I draw once in a while. And to be perfectly honest, when you're asking a question that comes up, it can be slightly annoying, just a little. But really, loving yourself is about accepting who you are completely. You are exactly who you are meant to be. You are that very special little bit of spirit put on this earth in exactly the form you are supposed to be. And you need to love yourself entirely, just as you would a child. And it's in that acceptance of yourself that something truly wonderful begins to happen. And the manifestation around you evolves completely. Because the next card says you feel as if you're going round and round in the same old circle. But in fact, should you change how you feel about yourself, you will suddenly be viewing life from a new plateau. Even though the surroundings look very familiar, they're going to be a higher perspective. And this then gives you that opportunity to make a decision and move forward with it, passionately, basically. So that is the energy that this new moon is bringing in for you. Then Taurus, last but definitely not least. For you guys, very soon, this new moon is bringing something, and it's going to manifest something very soon. Particularly, I think, in partnerships and relationships. This card is saying, have a clear picture in your mind of what it is you want. So if you're wanting to take a relationship to a new level, know that's what you want to do. If you're wanting to bring somebody in, a new partner, know what it is you want to be bringing in, what level you want that relationship to rise to. If you're with someone and you're wanting to bring new energy into the partnership or relationship, know what it is, because that new moon is going to manifest it. So have it clear in your mind. Because the Yin card speaks about that receptive energy. It speaks about opening your heart and mind and that energy flowing in towards you. So there's not even, you're not really going to have to do anything with this new moon. It's going to be doing the doing. Because the final card is emotional fulfillment. So this new moon has the potential to give you or provide you with emotional fulfillment. So just be clear in your mind what emotional fulfillment would be to you. Right, so that's the new moon reading for all the star signs for May 6th, 2016. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching and listening.